The Merchant and the Seed of Wisdom. Once, in a bustling town at the edge of an ancient forest, there lived a prosperous merchant named Alam. He was known far and wide for his wealth, his sharp mind, and his uncanny ability to make a deal in any situation. His shops were always full, his warehouses always stocked, and his coffers were never empty. Yet, despite his outward success, Alam felt a gnawing emptiness in his heart. He had everything money could buy, but he did not feel fulfilled. One evening, as Alam walked home from his shop, he passed by an old, decrepit man sitting beside the road, selling strange seeds wrapped in a faded cloth. The merchant was intrigued and stopped to examine the seeds. "Good evening, sir," Alam said. "What are these strange seeds, and how much do you want for them?" The old man smiled, his wrinkled face glowing with a warmth that seemed to come from within. "These are not ordinary seeds," he replied. "They are seeds of wisdom, and they carry the power to transform a person's life. However, they cannot be bought with money." Alam laughed. "I have more wealth than anyone in this town. Surely, I can buy anything, even wisdom." The old man shook his head gently. "No, merchant, you cannot buy wisdom, but I will give you one seed, if you promise to use it wisely." Curious, Alam agreed, and the old man handed him a small, black seed. "Plant it in the soil and tend to it with patience. In time, it will show you the path to true wisdom." Alam, eager to uncover the mystery behind the seed, took it home that night. He found a small pot and planted the seed in the rich soil, watering it diligently every day. Days turned into weeks, and the seed did not sprout. The merchant grew impatient. He had tended to it so carefully, so thoroughly. Why had it not grown? Frustrated, he returned to the old man the following week, holding the pot in his hands. "I have followed your instructions to the letter," Alam exclaimed, "and yet, nothing has happened. There is no sprout, no sign of life. You gave me a worthless seed." The old man looked at the pot and then into Alam's eyes. "You have been waiting for the seed to grow, but the true lesson lies not in the seed itself. It lies in your patience, your trust, and your ability to look beyond the immediate results." Alam frowned, confused. "What do you mean?" The old man explained, "True wisdom does not come quickly or easily. It grows slowly, like a tree, over time. The impatience you feel is the first lesson. In life, people often rush for results, but the most valuable things, like wisdom, love, and peace, take time to cultivate." Alam was silent for a moment, then spoke softly. "But what should I do? I have so much, and yet I feel I am missing something." The old man smiled. "You must plant your heart, just as you planted the seed. Nurture it with kindness, humility, and reflection. Only then will you see that wisdom is not something to be acquired. It is something to be lived." Feeling a mixture of humility and confusion, Alam returned home with the pot. Over the next several months, he slowly began to shift his mindset. Instead of rushing through life, he started to pause and reflect. He began listening more to others and seeking advice, not just for business but for matters of the heart. He found that the more he gave of himself, his time, his attention, his understanding, the more he gained in return. One day, nearly a year after he had planted the seed, Alam sat in his garden, reflecting on the changes he had made. He glanced at the pot where he had planted the seed, and was astonished to see a small green shoot poking through the soil. At that moment, he realized something profound. The seed had not been dormant all this time. It had been growing beneath the surface, just as wisdom had been growing within him. A deep sense of peace washed over him. The emptiness he had once felt was gone, replaced by a quiet understanding that the pursuit of true wealth, inner wealth, required patience, introspection, and a willingness to change. Alam never forgot the lesson of the seed. He continued to prosper, but he did so with a greater sense of purpose, no longer driven by the need for more, but by the desire to grow and share the wisdom he had acquired. As the years passed, he became known not just as a wealthy merchant, but as a wise and compassionate man, sought after not only for his goods, but for his counsel. And so, the merchant learned that true wisdom was not found in the accumulation of wealth, but in the cultivation of patience, humility, and understanding, qualities that, when nurtured, would grow in unexpected ways. Moral of the story. Wisdom is not something that can be bought or rushed. It requires patience, introspection, and time to develop. True fulfillment in life comes not from external wealth, but from internal growth, understanding, and the ability to be present with oneself and others.